for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting. Hello everybody, and welcome to this rather windy Monday afternoon here in the good old city of Peterborough. My name is Paul Newman, and I am the Director and Secretary of the organisation Reprieve Media CIC. It's a community-based social game project based in Peterborough in Cambridgeshire, and it was incorporated quite a while ago. Pandemic was a bit bad for us. You know, we like to cover events and charity events, that sort of thing, but it's been impossible really to actually cover any events because they unfortunately haven't taken place. But we're trying our best to get back on our feet now. We haven't really secured a premises as of yet. The website is still there though, and I'll give you the link to the website now. It is reprievemediacic.epeasy.com, and there you will see everything really that's been happening. You know, we haven't really updated. The website is virtually full of the things that we have done. There's a link to all the articles and the content as such. Check it out. Reprieve Media, CIC.epeasy.com is the name of the website. Right, we're going to get cracking now, and we're going to try and bring you some new content, starting this week's 2023 Cheltenham Festival. We've covered the 2023 Cheltenham Festival in a variety of ways, really. It's fair to say we've been on radio, we've we've uploaded content onto the YouTube channel, that sort of thing. But this year, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to utilise this Twitch platform just to see how it goes this year, really. And thank you very much to those who have supported it currently. It's early days yet, but we are learning. We're learning about the platform and getting all of our content on there. We're going to preview day one of the 2023 Cheltenham Festival, which starts tomorrow with the first race at 1:30. The usual team of my colleague Steve Allpress and myself will be on hand to do that, and that will be starting very shortly. And then after that, we have an interview with an organisation based in the northeast of England called Military Veterans CIC. Their chairman, David Bygate Pittiglio, and their director / community coordinator, Russell Stamp, kindly took time to be interviewed by us over the weekend. So we will play that out after Steve and myself have taken a look at day one of the festival. And then, time permitting, I will be back to have a quick look at the markets ahead of day one. And we'll just take a quick look at the Betfair markets of day one after the interview. And then we will more than likely call it a day after that. So, without further ado, I'm going to now attempt to start the preview of day one of the 2023 Cheltenham Festival. We've got hosts Steve Allpress. He is the man who is going to start the preview. We've just got a first time chat there. Looks like an automated Twitch robot. I do hope that that's not the sign of things to come. We don't really want to be bombarded with the likes of that. But what we are going to do now is we are going to start day one of the 2023 Cheltenham Festival preview, and I will hand over to my co-host via video and audio. His name is Steve Allpress, and Steve will take you through his views on the first day of the Cheltenham Festival. Steve, over to you.
Hi Paul, thanks for having me back once again for another Cheltenham Festival preview. As always, it's a great pleasure. You know, over the years, it's so exciting. There's huge excitement and anticipation. You wait, obviously, all year round for this big week, and it seems to drag and drag and drag. But finally, we're here now, and all the questions will be answered in the coming days. And we're going to see some cracking races over the week, I'm sure of it. This will be my 20th year going to the festival. The only 3 years I've ever missed since I started going to Cheltenham was 1 year there was foot and mouth disease, obviously, which I couldn't go to, which the whole meeting was called off. There was another year that was obviously COVID, so it was behind closed doors. And then there was 1 year where I was poorly, where I couldn't make it. But other than that, I've been 20 years. This year will be my 20th year. So it's been so exciting. I'm looking forward to it. Once again, as always, there's some cracking racing, some cracking matches, some good champions coming back to defend their crowns, some horses looking to redeem themselves. And then you've obviously, like always, you've got these up and coming horses of the future that you're hoping can put together a sequence of wins and, you know, win these big races on this big stage and go on to be superstars. So yeah, there's a lot to look forward to this week. So we're gonna crack on anyway, and I'm going to give you my selections and thoughts during the week, and hopefully we can put people on to some winners. Right. First race is the Sky Bet Supreme Novices Hurdle, a grade 1 over 2 miles. What I'll do first of all is I'll give you my selections, and then I'll just briefly go through my thoughts on the race and why I've come up with my selection and why I might oppose something. So anyway, first of all, with the Sky Bet Supreme Novices Hurdle, I think it's a fascinating race because obviously all winter we've had a short price favourite in Willie Mullins's Facile Vega, a horse that looked so good in bumpers last year, obviously winning at the Cheltenham Festival and then going on to back it up at the Punchestown Festival. The horse started the season on the right foot, winning two nice novice hurdles, both by, you know, a fair margin, looking pretty smooth in doing so. However, for me, it hasn't jumped slick enough to give me that kind of feeling that it's bomb-proof for this Supreme Novices Hurdle. It's certainly got the engine, I have no doubt about that, but I've just not been overly happy with the horse's technique or presentation towards the flights. You know, in previous years we've had horses like Votor, Duvan, and both of them were lovely jumpers, and I always say, going to Cheltenham, or not just Cheltenham but any race, you have to jump. If you don't jump slick, you don't jump smooth, more often than not you come up short. So Facile Vega, for me, he is a horse with a huge engine, and obviously he's got a huge chance, but he has to jump better than he's jumped if he's going to win the Supreme on Tuesday. He was very disappointing last time at Dublin Racing Festival. I do totally agree that the pace early on in the race was too hot, far too hot. However, for me, he went out like a light too quickly. I truly understand that the pace was frantic, and you do not win races going at that kind of gallop, but he just emptied so quickly, and I know since then they've said there was a problem. He was slightly lame afterwards, so maybe that was an excuse. But whereas maybe before the Dublin Festival you was full of confidence, you're going to be going there now, more hope than confidence. I think you'd probably agree with that. Obviously, High Definition from Joseph O'Brien's stable. He's a horse that had, you know, he's high class on the flat. Once thought of a potential Derby horse, didn't quite reach those heights, but high class nevertheless. And he won his novice hurdle debut in quite taking fashion, I'd say. And obviously he then was thrown into the deep end at Leopardstown at the Dublin Racing Festival, and he was the horse that obviously took Facile Vega on in the early stages, and obviously he unseated pretty early on, so it was pretty difficult to get a true reflection on the horse's ability. So he's one that you're also going into Cheltenham with a little bit of unknown, with question mark surrounding him. Of the others, the horse that actually won the Dublin Racing Festival, Il LA Tomp, he was a horse like last season that ran, you know, he ran just behind, I'll say just behind, he ran a few lengths behind Vauban, Field Door and the Pied Piper in the Triumph Hurdle, and it's quite surprising really that you would think that he'd be one of the market leaders for this year's Supreme after that, but he's not really done much wrong. He obviously was beaten quite convincingly by Facile Vega early in the season, but obviously come out and he did nothing wrong at Dublin Racing Festival. He let him get on with it early on. He jumped a lot better that day, and he finished off his race well. So while he's a fairly short price for the Supreme, he is a horse that seems to be improving with racing, and I couldn't totally write him off. Obviously, his time stacked up well compared to the Irish Champion Hurdle on obviously the same card, so that's pretty positive. But obviously, on all known form before that run, Facile Vega had the measure of him. So I think it all really revolves around what Facile Vega turns up. Of the others, obviously, you could be here all day going through them, but one other one I'd mention, Marine Nationale. A very smart horse in bumpers. Won the Royal Bond, getting up late on ground that wasn't suitable. He's a horse that certainly would appreciate the better ground. However, I'm not quite sure he's going to get it, unfortunately, on Tuesday. We've had such a dry winter and start to the new year, and then all of a sudden we've had a bit of bad weather leading up to the festival in the last few days, and it looks like the ground's going to turn against him. I wouldn't totally rule him out, but it is a negative. But he's high class. He's a horse that travels well, and he's got a lot going for him, but maybe the ground's just a negative. He's one that you'd put in the mix, but again, it looks an open contest to me. One of I will mention from the English, because obviously I've gone through several of the Irish horses there. I like the horse Tamoras from the Paul Nicholls stable. Yes, he's a horse that might look like he's not quite got the quality of previous winners, but he is a horse that's been improving at a rate of knots. I watched him win at Wincanton, and then obviously he won last time in the Grade 1 Tolworth. Again, that was testing conditions that day, so conditions are not going to be a problem for him on Tuesday. He did show a lot of signs of inexperience, certainly when he got to the front, but the form's been boosted, and the horse does look open to progress. So he's probably the leading candidate, I'd say, from the English. Rare Edition's another one that looked pretty good earlier on in the season, looked very good on Boxing Day at Kempton, but looked very disappointing last time at Huntingdon. It did come to light that it scoped badly since, but again, very negative going into the Supreme. You want to be coming into these races at the top of your game. Not many horses win the Supreme off a disappointing effort last time out. At the beginning of the season, I was pretty convinced that one of Facile Vega or Jet Powered would win this Supreme. And, up until just before Christmas, it looked like they'd have it between them. But now it looks a real wide open renewal. If you're going to force me to pick one, I'm going to go with Facile Vega. Obviously more hopeful than confident, but we are really relying on a huge swing from that last race. You just got to hope that the horse is over the problem that was well documented after the race, and you've got to hope that maybe a change of tactics, holding him up a little bit, will be the difference this time. So I'm going to go for Facile Vega, but it's a bit of a tentative selection. So yes, Facile Vega is my selection for the Supreme Novices Hurdle. Right then, on to the Sporting Life Arkle Chase, a grade 1 over 2 miles. For me, this is the most intriguing race of the week. It really is. At the end of last season, I was looking through horses for this year's novice chase division, horses that I thought would reach the top end of the spectrum. And John Bon, El Fabiola and Dysart Dynamo were the 3 horses that sprung to mind straight away. Obviously, John Bon and Dysart Dynamo both ran in last year's Supreme Novices Hurdle behind the mighty Constitution Hill. Obviously, Dysart Dynamo departed at the second last, and John Bon was runner-up that day, which is nothing to be ashamed of, obviously. While Al Fabiolo missed Cheltenham last season, but was a horse that was highly touted. And I think from an early stage, they always said this was going to be a horse for the future, a horse for this season. And up to now, it's looked to me, well, just not to me, but to everybody, that is a horse of the highest quality. And he's certainly going to pose a massive threat in this year's Arkle. Obviously, it's going to be a fairly small and select field this time. Just looking through the runners, for me, I'd be mighty surprised if anything other than these 3 horses, were there at the business end of the race. The only chance is Dysart Dynamo, and maybe, well, John Bon's obviously going to be the horse that has to follow him first. Maybe there's the thing that maybe they'll cut each other's throats up front a little bit and something will run on from the back. But even with that, I just think these 3 horses are head and shoulders above anything else in the lineup. If you asked me, who do I think is the one from the 3? I've been with John Bon from the very beginning. I always felt whatever he did over hurdles would be a bonus. I always thought the Arkle was made for him. Obviously, Nicky Henderson, he seems to use that Supreme Novices Hurdle as a stepping stone for like his future Arkle horses. Obviously, horses like we've seen in the past, Altior, Shishkin, Sprinter Sacra, those kind of horses, they were good hurdlers, and then obviously they went chasing and they seemed to excel from it. But yeah, John Bon would be my main selection. He was impressive at Warwick in his first start when beating Montmorale. Obviously he went to Sandown afterwards, and he beat Booth Hill in pretty decisive fashion. He just tend to get a little bit lazy, I'd say, around the pond fence, but when he was woken up, he quickened away nicely. There was plenty under the bonnet from as far as I could see, and I think similar happened last time when he went back to Warwick. It was a 2-horse race. It was a funny run race. I think, personally, looking at it from the outside, I think, jockey and horse thought it was just going to be a walk in the park. They were just going round at leisure. Obviously, then his opponent served it up to him down the back, and then he just caught John Bon off guard a little bit, and then he obviously had to be woken up. Just took him a little bit of a while to hit top gear, but then he got back on top again, and at the line there was only one winner. So obviously it might look to be a little bit. There might be looked to some that there might be a little bit of kink in John Bon, or maybe that he's not quite as bomb-proof as maybe he looked early in the season. But But I'm for one, certainly, I'd forget that last run. These kind of things happen. I've seen them before, like over the years, where you get these funny races. But you know, John Bon's a horse that wants, you know, a fast gallop, doesn't want to be making its own running. You know, wants a target, and Dysart Dynamo is likely to be the target. And I just think a truly run race will bring out the best in John Bon. So John Bon is my selection for the Arkle. If, you know, from the others, El Fabiolo would be the big danger. I can't say any more. He is a horse that he looked at Aintree in defeat. He ran a big race. That was only his second start over hurdles. He was he missed, I think it was the second last, if I can remember rightly. He didn't get the cleanest of passages, and he really rammed John Bon to the line. Obviously, on that day there was nothing between them. Some will say, well, El Fabiolo didn't get the best of runs, John Bon did, but John Bon had the hard race at Cheltenham, so you can look at it two ways for me. They're both high class. Although I've gone with John Bon, I would not be surprised if El Fabiolo turned the form around. Some say El Fabiolo hit one fence, he'll hit two fences, but for me, you can't say that. Yeah, he was a little bit scrappy on his seasonal debut over fences, and yeah, he did hit one last time at the Dublin Racing Festival, but all in all, his jumping's not been too bad. I don't think it's been as bad as people are making out. And, you know, you're only going to improve with experience. And I think as El Fabiolo's career goes on, his jumping will improve. And I like, even with me being in the John Bon camp, I'm not just thinking, El Fabiolo's going to hit one, John Bon's going to win. I don't look at it like that at all, because I know that El Fabiolo is not guaranteed to hit one. So whatever people say, you know, don't just rely on El Fabiolo hitting one if you're in the John Bon camp, because that might not well happen. Any horse can hit them. John Bon can hit one, you know. Dysart Dynamo can hit one. Anyone can hit one. But you can't just rely on a horse to hit one for your horse to come out on top. These are class horses, these two, and you know, it's going to be an intriguing matchup. But yeah, John Bon's the one for me. El Fabiolo will be the one, the big danger of the field. And Dysart Dynamo, I'm a big fan of him too. At the beginning of the season, I thought him and John Bon would be a real matchup in this race, but after watching the Dublin Racing Festival, I know it's a furlong or so shorter, but I still have this feeling that maybe he's just going to come up a little short again. Maybe he's just going to, his style of running I think his style of running just might set things up for John Bon and El Fabiolo. So, you know, if he gets on the front end, and well, he should get on the front end, but if he gets on that front end and he gets that little gap and then others behind just start making little niggly errors and he's jumping well, there is a chance he could get away. But all in all, I think they're going to keep tabs on him, and I think coming down the hill just before they swing in, I think the big two will have Dysart Dynamo in their sights, and I think it'll be a shootout between the big two. But I'm going to go with John Bon. He's been faultless over hurdles, other than the Supreme, but he still ran a big race. The pace was hot that day. Probably went a bit too hot with Dysart Dynamo, but still ran a big race. He's been pretty smart over fences so far, but I don't think we've seen the best of him yet. So John Bon is my selection for the Arkle. This is a race not to miss. This is going to be an absolute cracker. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Arkle. So now we'll go on to the feature race on day one, the Unibet Champion Hurdle. I will start with no other than Constitution Hill, the number one horse in training, the highest rated hurdler in training, the best hurdler since the turn of the millennium. This horse is going to line up on Tuesday and he will win the Champion Hurdle. Mark my words, this horse will win the Champion Hurdle. At the beginning, well, certainly at the end of last season, stroke beginning of this season, we was all hoping we would see the big clash. Constitution Hill versus the reigning champion Honeysuckle. Unfortunately, connections of Honeysuckle have swerved Constitution Hill. For me, the horse couldn't beat Constitution Hill anyway. Even the best Honeysuckle couldn't beat Constitution Hill. But even so, it's a disappointment she's not in the lineup. I always feel a reigning champion, and she's a two-time reigning champion. I just feel they should be in the lineup trying to defend their title. But obviously, they've seen Constitution Hill, and they don't want anything to do with him. They know how good he is. They know how good Honeysuckle is. They know that Honeysuckle's slightly on the decline, and they know they can't win. It's as simple as that. That is the reality of it. So she's obviously going to the mares, which is a bit of a disappointment, but, good luck to her. Hopefully she runs a big race in her final race at Cheltenham. But yeah, back to the Champion Hurdle. Constitution Hill's the one. He was brilliant last season in the Supreme. Invincible is the word I'll use. This season, he went to Newcastle for the Fighting Fifth. Obviously, raced his stable companion. He was obviously withdrawn from Ascot a week earlier due to ground conditions being too quick. They hadn't had rain. They hadn't really had rain in the autumn or early winter, and it was a bit of a concern. So he missed Ascot, but he went straight to Newcastle to take on his stable companion in Epatante. He dismissed her at leisure, given her weight, and then obviously took her on again at Kempton over Christmas in the Christmas hurdle. And once again, it was same as always, smooth throughout the race, quickened well, fiddled the second last, but all in all, usual Constitution Hill performance. Moved away, quickened away, won nicely. Obviously, he's not ran since Christmas. It's not usually something that I like. I don't normally like a horse to be given a break between Christmas and Cheltenham, but obviously it has been done before. And to be honest with you, with this horse, I've got no worries. It don't matter what they do with this horse. This horse will beat these. As I said before, I've been a huge fan of some of these past champions. Hurricane Flies, Fahines, Bouverdares, Annie Powers. I've been a big fan over the years of all these horses, but Constitution Hill's on another level to any of them. Absolutely different class. Absolutely different class, I'm telling you. I remember when I saw him at Sandown early on in his novice hurdle career, and I remember when he pulled him out and he jumped that last flight and he quickened away. I remember going to work that that following Monday, and I said to my mate, I've seen the Supreme Novices Hurdle winner. Funny enough, it was only a few weeks before I told him I've seen the Novice Hurdle winner in John Bon. I had to go back to my mates at work and I had to tell them all. I said, I know I told you boys John Bon was going to win the Supreme, but I have to tell you now, other people might not agree, but I have to tell you now, Constitution Hill is going to beat John Bon. It's going to absolutely destroy it. So anything you've got on John Bon, go and get it all on and more on Constitution Hill. This was when Constitution Hill was about 6-1 for the Supreme. I saw exactly what this horse was made of. As soon as he won that race at Sandown And then when he went and raced again in the Tolworth, and obviously he backed up that previous run, obviously then the cat was out of the bag. Everyone knew then that the horse was a real high-class horse, and it was just a matter of, was he better than Dysart Dynamo? Obviously, he's proved that he was, but you know, that I just remember going to work that morning and saying to my mates, I've seen the Supreme winner. And then obviously from then, obviously Cheltenham, I just said to him, when this wins the Supreme, just get on it for Cheltenham for the Champion Hurdle before it wins the Supreme, because it will win the Champion Hurdle. With average luck in running, it will win the Champion Hurdle. Obviously, you have these things when, you know, things do go wrong in horse racing, but, you know, with just average luck in running, nothing will go wrong for this horse. It will. He'll have it up there. He'll have it up there first, you know, 2 or 3 positions. When they're coming down here, he'll have it positioned nicely. And then the race will be done and dusted before he swung into the straight. I'm absolutely convinced. So just going on to the couple of the others in the race, because obviously it's not a race without opposition. So I'll just go through a little bit of the opposition. Not that there's many in it. But State Man, Willie Mullins, obviously he is the main rival for Constitution Hill. He won the county hurdle last year off a nice weight. Done nothing wrong. You know, very smart horse in his own right. Last time he went and beat, obviously, Honeysuckle and Vauban in the Irish Champion Hurdle. Jumped a lot better last time than I've seen him jumping before. He jumped a bit high in previous runs, but jumped a lot slicker last time. And, you know, he's a smart horse, a nice horse. And, you know, he's a horse that, on all known form, he should finish second. But obviously, if he tries to serve it up to Constitution Hill, he could be in danger of giving second place away. So anybody thinking of doing forecasts, you just have to bear that in mind, how State Man's going to be ridden against Constitution Hill. Because if he really does try to serve it up to Constitution Hill, he could end up on the receiving end of an absolute barrage. So, you know, as good as State Man is, and I do hope he comes second to him because he's a good horse, but I just sometimes wonder how these races are going to be ridden. Sometimes you can cost yourself chance of second by trying to actually win the race. And I do think the horse should try and win the race, otherwise what's the point in being in the race? But it could just come unstuck by doing so. Vauban, obviously, he's got a little bit to find with State Man, but you'd think he'd be thereabouts, running for, you know, second or third again. Of the others, a lot of people like the look of I Like to Move It from the Twiston Davis stable. I think the horse is useful, but I think that race last time in the Kingwell at Wincanton, I think it was a weak race. I'll be honest with you. A couple of those horses that it was against, certainly Napper's Hill, did good start to the season, but they were lifeless at Wincanton. I Like to Move It was the best horse in the race on the day, but it was against weak opposition. I wouldn't take note of that Wincanton run at all. I think it's very deceiving, that race. So yeah, I wouldn't have I Like to Move It to finish in front of State Man or Vauban, really. But for me, Constitution Hill is the horse to watch. Even if you don't have a bet, just tune in to watch this horse, because I think we could be seeing I don't just think, I know we're seeing a superstar here, and hopefully we'll see a real top class devastating performance. So yeah, my selection for the Champion Hurdle, my nap selection of the week in fact, is Constitution Hill for the Champion Hurdle. He'll bring it home for Nico de Boinville, Nicky Henderson. Get the English off to a good start. Now onto the Close Brothers Mares Hurdle, a grade 1 over 2.5 miles. The mares race over the years it might have been lacking in depth, but we have seen some real high-class mares line up in the race, likes of Quavega, Vroom Vroom Mag, Annie Power, Honeysuckle, Benny de Joux. So there's been some real good ones line up in this over the years, and this year isn't an exception. We've got 2 previous champion hurdlers in the shape of Honeysuckle and Epatante, and then we've got some up-and-coming horses, the likes of Brandy Love and Love Envoy. And then obviously the anti-post favourite that looks so good in the Railkeel hurdle, which has been a late switch from the Stayers hurdle to Mares hurdle in Marie's Rock. So yeah, the race on paper looks a real competitive race, and you know, you could seriously look at 4, 5, 6 of these horses and give them genuine chances. So I'll start with Honeysuckle. She's been a fantastic mare. She's obviously won 2 champion hurdles. She's at the age of 9 now, so it's pretty certain that all in all she's slightly on the decline, hence why I think Connections have opted to come here rather than go to the champion hurdle and take on Constitution Hill. She ran fair in last time out in the Irish champion hurdle, but she just didn't have the same spark to me, and for me it leaves question marks. I just wonder, although she did run well that day, I'm just wondering, will she decline a little bit more once again at Cheltenham this time round? It's hard to know, but it's just something I have a gut feeling on. Epatante, she's also 9. She's a horse that's, although she's won a champion hurdle, she's been a bit unlucky. She's come up twice against Honeysuckle in her prime and come up short. And then obviously this season she's run twice behind her stable companion Constitution Hill. Ran well both times, but just shows she's a level below that kind of calibre. Although last time at Doncaster in the Grade 2, she looked very impressive. She just travelled really well and quickened well. And of those 2 mares I've just mentioned, I do have a little feeling that Epatante might still have a bit more spark in her than Honeysuckle. But we'll find that out on Tuesday. Of the others, Brandy Love, she's obviously had a bit of a funny season. We didn't see her until a couple of weeks ago in the Quavega Mares hurdle at Punchestown, where she finished behind Queen's Brook. She obviously looked good last season. Obviously all things have not been well there, and I think they've rushed her a little bit to get here. She is a high class mare, but I'm just wondering, it's a quick turnaround. She hasn't had the smoothest passages this season. So I think Brandy Love's one. I'll just swerve this time, but she is a smart horse. So, I wouldn't write her off, but I'd look at others. A stable companion, Echoes of Rain. She's looked, she's been a bit of a free going horse, in previous seasons, which might have been her downfall. But last time out she won the Limestone Lad hurdle at Naas, and she looked smart that day. To me, visually, that was the best she's looked so far, or certainly in the last, couple of years. So she's coming into the race in good form, and she could be thereabouts, running for each way money. The 2 horses for me though in this race that will be my 2 selections, and one of them's a fair price actually, so you could probably back it each way. So I'll start with that one, Love Envoy. She's a 7-year-old. She loves soft ground. She's been faultless this season. The ground looks like it's going to be in her favour come the Tuesday, and she's still improving, I feel. I don't think she would beat Honeysuckle or Epatante at their best, but I don't feel they are at their best. And therefore, I think Love Envoy is a horse to be on side here in this race. So she is going to be my each way selection in the race. My win selection in the race is going to be last year's winner, Marie's Rock. I think Marie's Rock, she's had issues in the past, but she's looked even better than ever this season. I was very impressed in the Rail Keel Hurdle. I just feel that she's a horse that won't mind the ground. She's got a nice turn of foot. The vibes from connections are she's been working really well. She's thriving on her running. She's won 5 races from her last 6, I think it is. She's coming into the race in top form, and I think she's the one to beat. So my win selection for the race is Marie's Rock. And I think Love Envoy, she's around the 8-1 mark. She would be my each way selection. But again, it's a cracking race. You know, I wouldn't put anybody off backing any of these horses, because it really is a wide open renewal. And as much as I'd like to see Honeysuckle and Epatante run big races, I do think there's question marks against them, even more so Honeysuckle. But you know, if she does win, I'm pretty sure the roof will come off Cheltenham. So yeah, it's a cracking race. You know, even if you're not having a bet in the race, just to watch, it's a cracking race. And, you know, it'll be very interesting, to say the least. So yeah, that's my views on the Mares' Hurdle. Thank you very much. So I think I've wrapped up the main races on day one, the graded races, certainly. And I'm going to now give you my main selection for day one and my each way selection for day one. The main selection obviously being Constitution Hill. He's not going to make nobody rich that are backing him now, but he will win, and he is the banker of the week for me. And my each way selection on day one, I'm going to go for Love Envoy in the Mares' Hurdle. So those are my 2 selections on day one. Thanks, and I'll be back tomorrow.
A fantastic preview there of day one of the Cheltenham Festival from the one and only Mr. Steve Allpress. And may I take this opportunity to thank Steve for taking the time to compile what is, as always, a superb preview of the first day. I'll just run through Steve's 2 selections of the day quickly. In his win selection is actually his nap of the week, Constitution Hill in the Champion Hurdle, and his each way selection of the day is Love Envoy in the Mares' Hurdle. In the other races, his hopeful selection, rather than confident, in the Supreme Novices Hurdle is Facile Vega, and in his Arkle Chase selection is John Bon, and he also fancies Marie's Rock to win what is a competitive renewal of the Mares' Hurdle. Right, thanks again, Steve. Steve will hopefully be with us throughout the week. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you my quick appraisal of the card of the first day, and then we will get on with the interview with the North East based charity Military Veterans CIC up ahead of an upcoming fundraiser called the Pat Field Shield. More details on that later, but for now I need to put the introduction up screen quickly just to get the Cheltenham cards up, etc, and then I will be back with you for my look at day one, the cards of the 2023 Cheltenham Festival. Thank you very much for supporting the channel, everybody. It's very much appreciated, as always, and I will be back shortly. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting, so please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting, so please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting, so please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting, so please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting, so please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting, so please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting, so please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting, so please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting, so please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting, so please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting, so please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting, so please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting, so please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting, so please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting, so please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting, so please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting, so please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting, so please stay tuned. Hello everybody and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody and welcome to my Twitch channel. Hello everybody and welcome back. Sorry about the delay there. We had a slight technical issue. The lag was a bit slow on the streaming computer, so I had to rectify that a little bit. But the black screen was up, so hopefully no damage was done really. So we're going to crack on now. Don't forget, the Reprieve Media CIC website is always available. It can be found at reprievemediacic.epz.com. Can I just say thank you very much to everybody for supporting the channel. It is very much appreciated as we find our feet on Twitch. We don't claim to be Twitch experts, but we try our best and we'll crack on. Right, we've just had Steve Allpress's preview of the first day of the 2023 Cheltenham Festival. Now I will go through the card. I will give my selections tomorrow because it's just easier for me to pre-record them. Basically, I have to produce the chat as well and broadcast. So if I'm talking and typing at the same time on a different machine, it's very tricky. So I'll pre-record my race segments and play them out, and I will be typing in my selections in a future broadcast tomorrow morning, all things being equal. But I will go through the card now before we play the interview with military veterans CIC and the chairman David Bygate, Pittiglio and Russell Stamp. So, the first race of day one of the Cheltenham Festival is the 1:30, the Sky Bet Supreme Novices Hurdle, Grade 1. I think this race here could be the weakest for a few years, you know. Mainly due to the bombing out of the favourite, Facile Vega, at the Dublin Racing Festival. I mean, it was impossible to be impressed with that horse last time out. You know, Steve said he's hopeful of it bouncing back. It could go either way, quite clearly. If the horse has got the class that his mother showed, winning multiple mares hurdles, Quavega, then yes, there is a chance that Facile Vega could bounce back, and he will prove to be, on the day, a fantastic proposition against this lot, I think. Of the rest, Steve touched on high definition. I mean, you have to respect his flat form, flat credentials and his pedigree. But to me, I think it would be a poor renewal if the horse was to win the race. Dark Raven, the Munir horse, I don't really fancy that one. Nor Dr. Bravo. A lot of these, you can tell by the ratings. When I started looking at National Hunt races, I looked at 140 and above as a guideline. I mean, there's horses, well, one of them is mine. There's some in there that have just scraped above that, you see. Even winning a Tolworth, look, the Grade 1 winner, Tamurus, who goes there, I think, as a dark horse, as Steve said. Rare addition. I'll be disappointed if that proved to be good enough on what I saw of the horse last time out. I thought if he was any good, he'd have won last time out, and he really would have gone there as a real legitimate top 5 contender, I think. Marine Nationale, Barry Connell's horses, are always dangerous to dismiss, as are JP McManus's horses in this race. You know, he's had some good ones like Straw Bear, run with great credit in this race. Off the flat. You know, this one I think is more of a jumps bred horse. But, you know, it's an interesting race. Ilete Tomp. I think that's an in and out horse. You can tell by the form that it's been beaten by Facile Vega, and then it's returned the form with Facile Vega last time out. And that is one to me that I think could easily get in the shake-up. I'll mention mine quickly. Chasing Fire is one I identified earlier in the season, and the pedigree video for that is on the YouTube channel. It's a well-bred horse, you know, but at odds of 25 to 1, it's going to have Arcalis type vibes about the horse for it to prove the best of these. It's certainly well-bred, from the family of German 2000 Guineas winner Carpino and National Hunt sire Milan, among others. You know, it's an unbeaten horse. The horse has never lost a race. You know, and what I think, I've already said that this renewal might not be the strongest for a while. You know, I'll be disappointed, I think, if Chasing Fire's not in the first 5 of the race. You know, at this stage, having not looked at the market, with nearly 20 hours to go on the day, you know, things could change in the market. If Chasing Fire was to drop in the market, that would excite me, because it would prove that others shared a similar view to me. As it stands at the minute, it's looking like I'm going to have to be right, and a lot of people are going to have to be wrong for my Chasing Fire to land the Supreme Novices Hurdle. Will he be Arcalis, or will he be Masafi, or Red Maloney? You know, I've followed a few. This is a great race, really. A fantastic start to the week. I watched the Novice Hurdlers all season, and this year's lot to me, well, they are what they are. The 210, the Arkle, I will say that I agree with everything that Steve said apart from one thing. I'm not as strong on Dysite Dynamo as a horse as Steve would be. Although, I admit it has looked a bit calmer over chasing than it did hurdling. It's not a horse I've been with at any stage. El Fabiolo and John Bon look well clear of the field, if you ask me. And rather like Steve, I'm going to side with John Bon. You know, I've sided with John Bon for a long time. He's bred for this. Being a full brother to the mighty Duvan, he's bred to come into his own, to really start to come into his own now. And I always hope pedigree wins out. You know, so I will be roaring on John Bon up the hill. Hopefully with a lead, a nice lead, so I can just be roaring him home in celebration rather than getting a bit nervous. Of those at the other prices, I can't recommend any of them. I'm sorry, but I just can't. So, I wish I could, but I can't. So I will side with John Bon in that one. We're going to leave the handicaps until I do my pre-recorded pieces. The Champion Hurdle, like Steve said, really, it's looking like Constitution Hill versus the rest. Unfortunately or fortunately, some people could say that the last 4 or 5 renewals of this race have been towards the lower end of the historic run-ins of the race in terms of quality. I will say that I like to move it. Visually did impress me in the Kingwell Hurdle. It's a race that English Drever won when he won the World Hurdle at Cheltenham. It is a race that can be underestimated. And while I'm not saying that I do think it will beat Stateman or Vauban, I was more impressed with it than Steve was, it's fair to say. But it's all about the one horse, really, this race, Constitution Hill. Out of ones I've identified in the past, well, my champion 4-year-old, Vauban. You know, and he's again a bit like Chasing Fire. The bookies have got a strong hold on this race, though, if people look. There's only 7 runners. And the only thing that would interest me in this race is if I could get 3 places and Vauban wasn't in the first 3, I would leave this race disappointed. I would. You know. Stateman, could Vauban beat Stateman? I think if we hadn't had the rain that we've had in the last fortnight, I think he could have. You know, but I think Vauban might be better on better ground. You know, he kind of proved that, really. The longer the summer went and the spring went last year, the better this horse got. But if Constitution Hill and State Manor, what's going to be third? It has to be Vauban, which is why I think it might be very difficult for people to get 3 places on this race tomorrow. If Vauban was to come in a bit then I'll be thinking, oh, do they fancy it to beat Snake Man? I personally think eventually it will prove to. Snake Man is a very good horse, but Vauban to me would have a better pedigree. So therefore to me I would be hoping that he would turn out long term to be a better horse. Maybe Vauban I don't see as a chase prospect. Vauban is actually a flat-bred horse. I think he's from the family of Waldgeist and all them, of German family. I'll go into that and do that properly in there when I can open up more tabs without crashing the live stream. Snake Man I see more of a chaser that's hurdling this year. Vauban I see more as a hurdler, But it'd be interesting to see if Vauban can finish in the first 3 tomorrow. The next race I'm going to look at, like Steve did, the 4:10, the Mare's Hurdle. Well, to me, this race is the strongest renewal it's been, really, for several years. You've got 2 former champion hurdle winners in the race, in Epatante and Honeysuckle. And if their trainers are as adept as they are portrayed, they have them spot on the day. They're going to take a hell of a beating here, I think. If they turn up at the top of their game, primed, to run a top race at Cheltenham Festival, then I think they'll be the first 2. Like Steve said, Love Envoy is an interesting one. It won well last time out, but it's a horse I've never really been with. Maybe I've not looked at it properly. It's just I didn't follow many jump horses last year. There weren't a lot going on. I was not really typing any content out or anything, so I was just watching them for myself, really. Which I can just keep my views to myself, really, if that's the case. But if other people help me produce content and there's something going on, then I'll always share my views. Marie's Rock is a similar one. I've never really been with her either. My mares like Martello Sky is one of the mares hurdlers I've been with. Has fallen short. And a lot of my mares hurdlers are now novice chasers. I had Allegory Devassi beat Brandy Love last year, chasing. Impervious Grade 3 novice hurdle winner last year, chasing. You just get years like that. To be honest, in the race, if I fancy Epatante, and if JP follows her back, if JP fancies her, I'll follow him in, because I do think she's by far and away. Honeysuckle to me has shown clear signs that while still a very good yardstick behind State Man, and Vauban. I think if Epatante had run in them races, she'd have been behind State Man and Vauban as well. She's chased home Constitution Hill. Honeysuckle's chased home them 2. I think after half an hour's there'll be a bigger gap between what Epatante's been chasing home than what Honeysuckle's been chasing home. And I do think that if she is right, Epatante will take some beating in this race. I really do think that. The rest of them, we've got the Boodles and the National Hunt Challenge Cup. Steve decided to let them go. I will do the same in this session, I think, because, like I said, if I fancy anything I want in them races, I want to show people why, and that needs tabs being opened and pre-records, that sort of thing. The same as with the Ultima. But the 4 I've got running for me in the 130, got Chasing Fire. Each way, first 5, I think, would be my expectations. In the Arkle, looking at the prices, John Bonn has to win, really, doesn't he? If he drifts alarmingly on the day, then that'd be worrying, because he's owned by Ireland's biggest gambler. And in the 330, the Champion Hurdle, Vauban again. First 3, I'd have to state that. Man, bum bum. And in the Mare's Hurdle, Epatante each way at them prices will have to be easily suggested. You should get the first 3. Look, there's 10 in the race. I think if she's not in the first 3, then it's a good renewal anyway. But I do fancy Epatante in that race, I must admit. Right, that's my views on the card for day 1 at the Cheltenham Festival. I will plug the Reprieve Media CIC website once more, which is reprivemediacic.appeasy.com. Then I will put the black screen up again and get the interview ready with military veterans CIC. So I will be back shortly. See you soon, everybody. Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody. Hello everybody, and welcome back to what in horse racing terms is the final stretch of this live stream. Hope you enjoyed the horse racing content. We're going to leave that well behind now and head on to an interview that I recorded at the weekend with Northeast based CIC military football veterans. CIC, the guys kindly gave up their time on Saturday afternoon to do the interview, and thank you very much for that. Fantastic gesture. And the guys we interviewed are the chairman of the organisation, David Bygate Pittiglio, and the director / community coordinator, Russell Stamp. I'm going to start the video now, and then obviously the website and that will be given out during the video and in the chat. So thank you very much everybody for supporting the channel. As always, it's very much appreciated. And now this is the interview with military veterans CIC. Thank you very much everybody. Hello everybody. Well, we've got something a bit different for you today. What I'm going to try and do is interview a couple of fine upstanding gentlemen who are representing an organisation called Military Veteran Football Club, CIC. Just scrolling you down through the website now, you'll see it's a very posh website. And you will see in the Our Team section the two people we have with us today, the chairman, Dave, and the community coordinator and director, Russ. Right, by the miracles of science, Russ and Dave should be here now. Dave and Russ, are you there?
I think we are, yes.
Yeah, we're here.
Some might say we're not, but we are.
Hello, Thank you very much for taking the time to join us today. It is very much appreciated.
Thanks very much for taking the time to invite us, mate. It's much appreciated too.
Anytime. It's always a pleasure to talk to like-minded people who form CICs and really looking to shape the world that they live in, rather than just sit in it. Right, so we've got for David Bygate, Pittiglio, the chairman, and Russell Stamp, the community coordinator and the director. Is that right?
That is correct.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, perfect. So tell us a little bit about the organisation. How did a Military Veterans Football Club come to exist?
So, Military Veteran Football Club came to existence through an idea by a very smart young lady, my wife Laura, who saw that I was going through a particularly hard time with my mental health. A couple of years ago, I lost my father, and I had some other 2 or 3 things going on, and just I was really affected badly by my mental health. So her idea behind it was get out there and do something you love, which is football. I've always been, obviously I come from a hotbed of football, the Northeast.
Wow.
We kind of, our day in, day out life revolves around football, don't tell the wives. And the idea was, I'm a veteran and I was in the Royal Air Force for 9 years, and I hadn't really engaged with the veteran community because I left the forces when I was 28 years old. I might be 27 years old, and kind of you come out at that age and you think, well, veteran, am I a veteran? Because veterans, I suppose, if you look through the eyes of many people, if you talk about a military veteran, it's kind of, they think of somebody old in age, and it's kind of something we're trying to change the landscape with. We want to make sure that people know that veterans can be any age, and some people come out and they don't want to be a veteran because it's not something that sits well with them. But anyway, I integrated kind of into the veteran community and started touching base with people and struck up some good relationships along the way. And Laura said one day, why don't we just book a court at the Beacon of Light in Sunderland, which is run by the Foundation of Light at Sunderland AFC. It's an absolutely stunning location. The building's brilliant. And our relationships with them over the time we've been in existence, just over a year, has come really strong. And so once this first session was actually booked, it was just a one-off. It was to see if people would come. Then after that first kickabout, we ended up booking the pitch for 3 months. And once people started seeing it out there in the big wide world through the amazing thing for social media about me is that people can see stuff like this. People started asking questions, getting in touch, saying, oh, where's this? And could we have this near me? Then, boom, April the same year, last year, we registered as a CIC, and it's just gone from strength to strength, and we've been able to expand because it's something people are interested in. And just walking onto that pitch and 5 minutes into a session, that anxiety kind of disappears and you realise you're back with your brothers and sisters again, So that's why we exist. We exist for, and I don't always like to push it too much on the mental health side, but massively for most people who come, the mental health side of things, it helps. Being physical as well, not your kind of physical.
No, that's different.
But yeah, it's all good, and it's it's something we love, and a lot of people have kind of jumped on board, and they're like our family now.
Fantastic. And Russell, are you an ex-veteran as well, sir?
Yeah, so just pretty much similar to Dave. Well, I was Royal Navy, so 14 and a half years, but from Hull originally. Joined, well, I kind of followed in my stepdad's footsteps, which we'll come on to, which is what this interview is about, really. But then I ended up meeting my wife in the Navy and settled up in Sunderland. So that was 10 years ago. Kind of stopped playing football. I loved five-a-side. I loved having a kickabout. Visited some weird and wonderful countries and managed to play all around the world for ships football teams, which was amazing. And then I think when I left the Navy, pretty much like Dave as well, I didn't class myself as a veteran. I didn't really understand what a veteran was. I thought a veteran was a World War II, a Falkland, that type of generation. But as Dave says, we are the new breed of veterans, really. Anybody who served one day, who signed up for Queen and Country or now King and Country, is classed as a veteran. So I'd kind of stopped playing football. I put that on the hold myself. And then I saw a post on Instagram about military veterans football. And it just reignited something inside myself, really. Booked on a session. Again, a bit apprehensive, like Dave says. I didn't know what it was about. I thought it might just be absolute athletes that are coming along and, an amazing standard of football, which it is and it can be. But also the idea of it is exactly what Dave says. It is very, very good for your mental health. Get out and about in the fresh air. We've got lads and lasses. We've got ages from early 20s to in the 60s now that come to the session.
62, yeah. I think. I hope you are 62, Bill, and I haven't added a year on that.
So that's how I got involved in it, really. Started coming along, and I think you can become very isolated when you leave the armed forces. Because you are a different person when you leave for various reasons, but also you probably have to have something wrong with you before you join as well for some strange reason.
How old were you when you joined?
I was 17 and a half when I joined the Navy.
I was 19, and I think at that age you haven't really seen the world.
Yeah.
So the world that you exist in is that military, isn't it?
Yeah, so you're quite institutionalised when you leave. So you box yourself off and you only kind of trust in your own people again. I suppose, and then when you do leave, there is a big void to be filled. It doesn't have to be football, but the idea of football is it does bring people together. It naturally does. You don't have to be the most athletic or best footballer to come to any of our sessions. It is literally get out and about, open up a little bit. You don't even have to, but it just makes you feel better. And an hour's worth of fizz running about, kicking a football, it opens up new doors. And I've learned and met so many new people through this journey myself in the last year. It's been amazing for me personally, and that's why when Dave, Laura and John asked me to come on board as the fourth director, I jumped at the opportunity.
So from both of your own personal experiences, it's fair to say really then that you've both found these sessions very helpful indeed, yes?
Yeah,
100%. 100%, mate. Like, it's a bit weird for me because I'm an outgoing, jovial character, and I always have been. And I've worked in care for many years, so I've educated myself in mental health and stuff. And you think, and even to the point where I've spoke to many people across the world and tried to help people out, with my knowledge of it. But I never thought for 1 second, I don't want to say I underestimated mental health because I didn't underestimate it, but I just always thought that me personally, I would have the tools to deal with everything that was thrown my way. Yeah. And in the end, it kind of, the best way to describe it is something took over. It was like something gripped me and just took away my personality and took away my outgoingness. And it's something I've kind of had to learn back. But now I feel that I've got this constant thing in my life now where I've got the Military Veteran Football Club, as same as everybody else who comes to sessions, and it's something to look forward to every week. Yeah. Which is a massive thing I find, and just the knowledge. Again, it is. It's just the knowledge of I'm going to be surrounded by them people, and they probably most feel the same way. It's just a massive, it's a godsend.
Yeah,
that's the best word I can use.
Yeah, it gives you focus. The session, we go to the one on a Thursday, but obviously all the ones in the northeast as well now are starting up as well. But it gives you a focus to look forward to again. And when you're there, you forget all your problems and your worries whilst you're on the football pitch having a kickabout for an hour. It's crazy how good it is and what it does for you.
And what we've been doing afterwards is we've been turning up with a tea urn, and kettle, and putting a trellis table out and putting teas and coffees and hot chocolates there, and people are staying, and maybe stay for another half an hour afterwards or 20 minutes and just have a good old rant sometimes. Sometimes you need to have a rant, or sometimes you just want to, a good northeastern way, this clot about, mess around, So we love that.
That's what it's all about.
That's fantastic. Right, well, we best get to the crux of why you're actually here, and that is to promote an upcoming event that I'm just scrolling through on the website there. A fantastic group of you all there in the team shot, and that's called the Pittiglio Shield. I mean, can either of you tell us a little bit about Pittiglio, please?
This is all about us.
Yeah, so obviously, well, for me personally, the Pittiglio Shield is very close to my heart. Pat is and was my stepdad. My inspiration for joining the Navy, as I mentioned before, is a Navy veteran himself. He was also a fantastic footballer. He had trials for Hull City played for Hull City Schoolboys, had trials for Nottingham Forest back in the day, and decided a life of adventure and travelling the world was better instead and joined the Royal Navy.
You sure you wasn't just scared by Cluffy?
Oh, it might have been that, yeah. It might have been that. It might not have been good enough. He never told me if he passed the trial or not. He never quoted that bit. Basically, Pat did 6 or 7 years in the Navy and then left against that family and stuff like that. And then eventually, so years and years later, he continued through his football career, played for a team called Boulevard Rangers, who I was very fond of going to watch as a small child. And that's probably where my love of football began, on the footy pitches in Hull and Costello, covered in goose poo as you walk through them. So all the good memories. So Pat loved the armed forces. He loved football. So he would be absolutely on board with all of this. So it kind of helps me along, thinking he's with me while I'm doing this as well. If you know what I mean.
Yes, absolutely.
But I'll get to the point with Pat. So tragically, 3 years ago, so 2019, he's biking home in the summer after work, keeping himself fit. He was a fit and healthy bloke. And he tragically and sadly got knocked off his bike by a HGV. And then 2 weeks later, we all went down to see him, and he looked like he was recovering. He was out of intensive care. 2 weeks later, had a heart attack, sadly, cardiac arrest. And that was it. So it threw us all and our lives into absolute turmoil, as you can imagine, as it does. The whole world stopped for us. Cars were still driving past, and we couldn't believe that the world hadn't stopped, because our world just crumbled in that moment. So as a family, we had to start slowly rebuilding everything back up, as you do. It was quite hard hitting for us, and it still is for all the family. But again, so to turn it into a positive, coming into military veterans football helped me massively, because it helped me express myself again and get my thoughts and feelings out with my brothers and sisters that had been in the forces, so who kind of understood me a bit more than other people that didn't want to not necessarily listen to it, but I didn't want to burden people with it, where I don't know, forces people are slightly different, where they'll just take it all on. Whether they listen or not, they just brush it off. It doesn't matter. That's what we do. But we're there in some capacity for each other. And then once I began to get involved in military veterans football, I just had an idea one night. As I said before, I'm from Hull originally, and I'd seen Hull for Heroes had a football team as well. So I had an idea, and I wondered if military veterans football and Hull for Heroes which has now got a team called Team Geo, could get together and have a football match. And then it went from there to, I wonder if I could get it named the Patfield Shield in Pat's honour.
So then we were actually quite lucky enough for Sunderland to get promoted into the Championship.
Yeah.
So now we play against Hull.
Yeah, so the idea was when Hull and Sunderland play, we'll go to each other's cities and play each other. So MVFC will play Team Geo. So Team Geo is Hull for Heroes football team. It's named after a lad, George Ellis, who was an army veteran who sadly took his own life again, which that team was set up to help men start talking again, to get it out there, to break the stigma, to break down the walls of, let's just talk to each other. It will be there for each other if we need to be, anytime, day or night. And that's what their team's all about as well. So it just kind of went hand in hand that military veterans football, Hull for Heroes and Team Geo get together and we have a football match. Everyone gets out and about. We have a good talk and a good laugh. The lads down there were spot on. So we've already played one leg down in Hull, which was in December, and then we've got the return leg up in Sunderland on Good Friday, Easter weekend. Yeah, so that's the return leg coming back up this way. But so that's how the match kind of came about, or the Patfield Shield came about.
Yeah, as you can imagine.
Go on,
I'm just saying there, Paul. As you can imagine, when Russ came to us with that, it was kind of something we wanted to jump straight at, because I remember when Russ first came to the session, and he'll probably admit himself, but there's been a massive change for him. If you like, Russ could even be a poster boy for this,
Cheers, man.
Sorry.
Is it the look?
Well, or maybe it's a calendar. You can be Mr. Federer, yeah. But when Russ came to us with the idea, it was something we kind of grabbed onto with two hands, and we just went with it, didn't we? And it was made to happen, and it's something where kind of our football club's all about family. No matter what your idea is of family, we have our own idea of what's family, and it's got nothing to do with just being blood for us. The same with the Patfield Shield. We run tournaments throughout the year, and we try and do things for people and get them all involved. And Team Geo came up to the first tournament, we ever did.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how that relationship between us happened.
Yeah.
And Russ came with the idea, then there you go, Bob's your uncle. That's where we are.
Yeah, and that's exactly how it came about, Paul. So Team Geo are supporting every one of our tournaments that we're putting on as well, which is fantastic. So they're travelling up from Hull every time we have a tournament in Sunderland. And long may it continue.
That's brilliant. So you mentioned, you touched briefly on the matches. You said there was two of them. Could you?
Yeah.
When are these matches taking place? Where and when?
Sorry, so the first game's already taken place in Hull. That was.
Oh, has it really? Who won? Who won?
Yeah. No, I'm not telling you.
So the next
Team Geo give us a good thumb, and let's give them the praise.
So I mean, the first match, it was a fun. To be honest, it was all about the occasion for us, just to kick it off, and get down there and play a game in Pat's memory for us as a family. Military veterans football as a family, but more so for my family in Hull and his family and friends from around the world, really. So a lot of his mates actually turned up and played in the game as well. Which,
brilliant.
Was fantastic. Yeah. So
I don't think they were expecting it, were they?
No.
We were just like, they were there. They had some trainers. We had some kits.
Yeah.
How them on?
Yeah. So we got everybody involved that wanted to be involved. It was just a fantastic occasion. So as I said before, I played for Boulevard Rangers. So a lot of the old boys who I grew up watching actually played in the game with us.
There's one guy who was in his 70s, wasn't there?
Yeah.
But they were strong players. I'll give them the dues. They're much better than walking football, I'll say that.
Yeah. So obviously for them, to play in that as well was just fantastic. But that score finished 5-1 to Team Geo on that day.
Right.
But the occasion outweighed the result for us all, really.
I wouldn't give up yet then. I was going to say they bagged the crucial away goal then.
Yeah. Well, we're not counting them actually. But
they'll be counting them if it's 4-0. If the second leg is 4-0, they'll be counting them.
So, and then we had a raffle and private pub down that way. Match sponsors was Gav Pearson Joinery and Ideal Heating, which is the company that my sister works for. So coming back up to Sunderland on the 7th of April, Ideal Heating are sponsoring us again kindly, which is Zoe, so Pat's daughter. Her company that she works for have kindly sponsored both legs of this one.
Yeah. Then we've got MedCover UK, which is a training company which is run by another one of our directors, John. He's quite kindly covered the cost of the facilities for the match.
Fantastic.
And John always backs us. Obviously, he's a massive part of this with us, with the military veteran football. He's been, there was myself, my wife Laura, and John were the first three. Then we ended up coming along this good-looking chap here, and he got on board. So that really so I'm ex-RAF, John's ex-army. My wife Laura's, her father was in the army, so she spent most of her life in the army as a dependent. So she knows what it's like living in that environment. Then we've got the trifecta, haven't we?
Yeah, and then me coming in with Navy, so we've got all three. We've got the tri-service, so that's exactly what we're all about, really.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. And so can I just say that? Sorry, go on. I was just going to mention that
it doesn't matter how long you serve.
Yeah, I was just going to mention the fact that if people would like to find more information on the sponsors for both matches of the Patfield Shield, they are available on the Military Veterans website, and I've scrolled down them, so if people just want to see who they are, then just feel free to go and check them out yourselves. So, David, when is the second match?
The second match is on Good Friday. It's a 10:30 kickoff, and it's at a place called New Ferrens Park, Durham. It used to be the home of Durham City Football Club until they moved on. It's a fantastic facility which is run by there's something called a soccer arena, which is just next door. They actually have ownership of the building. We started our new Durham session last night in the soccer arena, so we've built up relationships with them. One of our lads who used to be in the Navy, he's the new manager of there, so it's kind of helping each other out, and like I say, all about building these relationships. We believe in the relationships that we build with people should be valued from both sides, and it's what happens with us, it's kind of another thing we're all about. We don't want to have people having bad ideas of anything or having bad relationships with people. We just want everything to be fine and dandy and all good, But the game is, like I say, 7th of April. Team Geo's kindly coming up to play us again. We are very much looking forward to the game. The format's changed. The first game was 9v9, and the second leg's going to be 11-a-side. The tickets for the match you can look on the website, which I think you said you were going to put on, Paul.
Yes, we can have another look. Scroll down now. What I'll do now is I will sort that out for you. The tickets. There's a link for the website, which is militaryveteranfootball.co.uk/pat/field/shield. Or alternatively, the easiest way of getting to it is if you just go across to the top and scroll to what's on. You will see a tab for the Patfield Shield there. And you can just click on the Get Tickets link there. Like you say, Friday, 7th of April, 10 o'clock kickoff at New Ferrens Park Stadium. And the sponsors, like you say, just on here, Ideal Heating, 078 or 078 Training, who are sponsoring the kit, and MedCover, like David said, who are sponsoring the pitch. So it seems really to be all set up really for a fantastic day. And may I, from down here in Peterborough, just wish you all the best of luck with it.
Yeah, thank you, Paul.
Yeah, cheers, Paul. So just on the back of that, so even if you don't want to buy a ticket, there's another way. I think it's a GoFundMe page. So even if you want to donate 10p, 20p, 50p, whatever, or £1 instead of buying a ticket for £1, and then all the donations and raffle prizes and all the money made off the second leg again will be split between Hull for Heroes, which is massive, obviously down there now, which is fantastic to see, especially for myself being from Hull originally, and MVFC to continue to put on the sessions for all the veterans around the country, which we're starting sessions up all over, all around the country now.
And where can people find that link, Russell?
So yeah, that's Military Veterans Football kick. So on the charity CIC, and we've actually got 10 sessions running around the country at present, and hopefully many more to come. That's the idea of it, Paul, for it just to spread out around the country now.
Yeah, so the link. Good. Yeah. So let's get back to the sessions and the organisation itself before we wrap up. Yeah. Can you tell us where the sessions are and where people can find out about them? Should any veterans be watching or listening to this broadcast up in the areas of Hull and the North East, please?
Well, the different places you can find out about them are on the website, which we've talked about before. We have all of our social media pages. The Facebook page is at Military Veteran Football Club. The Instagram is at Military Veteran Football Club. Twitter is at MilvetFC, which is MILVETFC. If you want any information or you have any questions, you can give us a call or email us. The email address is militaryveteranfootballclub@gmail.com. You can ring our office telephone number is 0191 501 8009, or the mobile, which is mine, is 07960 765 455. So those are all the places you can find out information from. As for the sessions list, we've got a sessions list. I'll let you read them out, Russell, because I'm sick of the sound of my own voice.
You can't read, can you? So the 10 sessions that are up and running at the minute, Sunderland, which was obviously the birthplace for MVFC, and it's a great prototype. It's everything set up perfectly, and that's the model at the minute. That's what we're trying to recreate for all the
very clever lady did that, didn't she?
Yeah, and it's very well attended, that one. And as we were saying before, so Gateshead has just started up. We've got Durham, which started last night. We've got Middlesbrough again, which is up and running. Edinburgh. We have one Newcastle that people can access. Liverpool, Plymouth, Crewe, and Stafford. So they are popping up all around the country. And if anybody wanted to be involved in a session that's not already in their area, or they'd like to be a session manager, please get in touch. And we just provide all the gear, all the balls, all the bibs, and all the information that's required to become a session manager. So that's pretty much the best way. If people actually want one in their area and there's not one available, if they're willing to, put an hour a week aside and run a session, that's fantastic as well.
It's a question that's always asked, Paul. How can I get one of these near me? And Russ has gone through the most of it there, and it just comes down to conversations and getting to know people. And if somebody doesn't feel confident about potentially running a session, we can go look into it. I mean, as you can imagine, with us all being ex-forces, there's massive networks, Everybody knows people all over the place, and we put the messages out, and there's lots of different veterans organisations in different areas that we can talk to about accessing veterans in their area, and putting a seed out there, putting a message out saying, like, military veteran football, this is going around in a different area. Do you think anybody around this area would be interested? And it's kind of how it happens. It's quite organic, Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've just had the website up on the screen then, and like you say, all the sessions are clearly defined on it there. And there's little bits and bobs, and you can even book places on the courses as well on the website through the Sunderland Weekly Pass. People can just click there and get tickets. Yeah. And like you guys said about the network, I mean, you guys have you guys are as far north as Sunderland, Newcastle, Gateshead, and as far south as Plymouth and Stafford, and southwest.
Yeah.
I know as far north, sorry, as even Edinburgh sneaking in underneath the bottom of the list. So it's just you guys are thriving at the moment, aren't you? And it's great to see.
Yeah, it's good to see, because like when we go back to the ideology of why this exists, it's reaching people in, as like you say, as far north as Edinburgh, as far south as Plymouth, and we obviously are very keen for it to expand further. We've even had contact from abroad. We've had contact from Ireland, we've had contact from Cyprus, Germany. It's all about, we want these things to happen, but we just have to kind of concentrate on the sessions we have for now. Then when we have time to come with another one, then we'll do it. It's the foundations have to be laid, but it's nowhere's beyond.
Nowhere's out of reach.
Basically, nowhere's out of reach, because if there's people there, expats live all over the world. Yeah, and they're welcome to have it there. We're not really like dead precious about having to stay within the confines of the UK. It's about the forces and forces veterans, and we live all over the world.
I think another way to put it as well, Paul, even with my workmates, I'd started to try do 5-a-side sessions and stuff like that myself, and it's an absolute ball ache. So you've got to do all the admin yourself, you've got to do all the preparation, you've got to wait for payments, you've got to do all that. This does it for you. So you can basically log on onto the website, fill out the form, pay your money for that session or that month, whatever you want to do, and turn up and play football. It's all there, it's done easy for you. There's no struggles or strains to chase about, book pictures yourselves.
Yeah.
And I've tried to do that myself. And some of the lads and lasses that come to these sessions have said how easy it is and how available it is.
There was a hell of a lot of work initially went into it, and behind the scenes, it continues to do so. And that's with Laura, because she's absolutely fantastic, and she dedicates a massive part of her life towards it. And
did she ask you to set up?
No, she didn't ask us.
No, she does.
I'm glad you said it's not there, because I might have had a look too.
So you don't need to be asked, Russell. He's very well trained in that already. He knows.
Yeah. House trained, everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, he's right. Laura, she's the driving force behind all of this. We have a lot of conversations, a lot of meetings between ourselves to really push it out there and keep everything ticking over. And new ideas are coming all the time. So if people have an idea and they think, I wonder if that could work, we're more than happy to receive, any emails. All of our email addresses are on the websites as well, underneath who we are. And we're all easily contactable during the sessions, during the week, anytime, we're available.
And you will never just get a no.
No.
We don't do that. Like, if there's a reason that something can't happen, anything would be explained,
Fantastic. I mean, that's important. Definitely important.
Yeah. The door's never shut. The door's always open for any queries or questions.
Fantastic. So let's just work out. So people might be watching this video and they're thinking, I really want to donate to these guys. Is there just the Just Giving page? Can they just donate there, or is there any other methods of donation where people can get money to you to help you carry out the fantastic work that you're currently doing?
There is a link. There is on the website. There's a place where you can donate. I can't describe it to you directly from now, because I'm not the super tech guy, but it is there. If you have a look, if you want to donate, I think you'll probably be able to find it there if you're on there now, Paul.
Yeah, I've got the shop up. There's a shop.
Top left corner, won't it, I'd imagine.
Top left corner. All I can see is there's a badge at the top, and it says home.
Yeah.
Our sessions. What's on? There's a shop. Let's have a look at the shop. Tell us about the shop, David.
So it seems that military veterans like a bit of merch.
Everybody loves a bit of merch.
There is a couple of guys who take it a little bit too far. We'll not mention any names, Andy Slater. Oh, sorry. Oh, that didn't go well, did it? But yeah, so basically, when we start the sessions up and we start expanding, originally we wanted to define the different sessions. So originally we wore, so this kind of shirt that I've got on had different colours of it. But what's happened is since we started, the top's actually gone out of range. So now we've gone towards a black shirt, which can be used for everybody. And the only thing that will separate it from another session is kind of whoever sponsors the session. So we've got some fantastic sponsors of the different sessions. And so Sunderland's got Med Cover, then we've got Edinburgh and Durham has got Rocket Heritage, who are fantastic as well. Other sessions, we're looking for sponsors for them, you know, and we'll put another advertisement out for it quite soon, because a lot of the sessions are now starting to thrive and almost within reason themselves.
Last couple of months, personally, I find it a brilliant thing to get out and about in the last
and it's brilliant that being the first girl
from the sessions, and there's plenty of people in that catchment area. But yeah, so have you found the donate button? I'm pretty sure there's one on the website.
I've never been a fan of videos that start automatically on websites. So basically your YouTube video on your website was going out all over the content as I was searching through the site. Go on the homepage and it started. So I've had to close the website down. But I think the way you donate, there's a little thing down the bottom of the bottom right hand corner where it says PayPal and etc. Is that the module you're referring to?
I think so. Yeah.
I did see it. Yeah, and I have displayed it on there, but that video sort of started playing. I wondered where it was coming from. So yeah, I mean,
the shop is open. Sorry, so the shop's open all the time for people attending the sessions, but also for anybody that just wants to get involved. We've got these type of hoodies. We've got different shirts. I think there's
so much stuff added on there.
There's quite a bit on that shop now, but people are enjoying the merchandise. And again, if they want to come with any new ideas for themselves, it's more than welcome, Paul.
Yeah,
fantastic.
A lot of people like to put in there full kit.
Full kit, yeah.
People, yeah, full kit people.
Yeah, I mean, there's accessories as well. I was looking, there's mugs and hats, and you seem to certainly have everything covered. That's for certain. Very.
Dave's gonna model the one that we're using in the northeast at the minute when it's chilly.
There is a very extensive range, that's for sure. And like I said, I'm showing the website now. If people go down right to the bottom of the website, there's a little thing at the bottom that says Clear Pay, Amex, the methods of payments accepted there as well. And you just click on whatever you want to buy and buy it. It's very, very straightforward, it's fair to say. Right. Yeah. I think, is there anything else you guys would like to cover in the interview?
No, I think that's pretty much it for me, Paul. Obviously, just thank you very much. Thank you to everybody who's been involved in both things so far for the Patfield Shield, and long may it continue. So hopefully going into next season, Hull and Sunderland are in the same league. I can't see Hull getting promoted, and at the minute, I'll be honest, I can't see Sunderland getting promoted.
Interview finished.
Can you see Hull getting relegated, David?
No, we're not getting relegated. No.
I'd like to hope not.
I think we'll both stay for a long time. But even if they're not in the same league, we've agreed we'll pick a date between us anyway and still travel to Hull and vice versa. And as we said, Team Geo are going to continue to come up for the tournaments, and it's just going to grow and grow from there, Paul.
All right, fantastic. Can I just say it's been an absolute pleasure to touch base with you guys, David and Russell. Thank you very much for agreeing to do the interview. The best thing I will say is good luck with the event. It's coming up, the Patfield Shield and all the other events. I've got the website up quickly just before we go, www.militaryveteranfootball.co.uk. Beware the automatic starting video. And
it's great.
It is a great.
It's a good video, yes, but it starts by itself, and people might not be expecting it to start. fantastic video. And
You
the
can
website,
see Davey in there doing 2 keep-ups.
the website is very informative. Everything is on there that people would like to see if people would like to go and check it out. I'll say the site once more, militaryveteranfootball.co.uk. Military Veterans FC is the Facebook page if people would like to go and support them on Facebook. And David and Russell, can I just say thank you very much for taking the time to do the interview today. It's been very much appreciated.
No worries, Paul. Thank you for giving us
Yeah,
your precious time, mate, and your expertise. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Paul. Thanks for your time.
No problem. And thank you very much, lads.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. A fantastic interview there from the guys, David Bygate, Pittiglio and Russell Stamp of Military Football Veterans FC. Can I just again say thank you very much for finding the time to carry out that interview Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon time. Never easy. Thank you very much. It was very much appreciated. Right. I did promise a quick look at the markets going back now to horse racing for day one of the 2023 Cheltenham Festival. So what I will do shortly is I will put the old start screen up quickly, get Betfair loaded up quickly, and then I will be back for what will be a pretty quick look at the markets on day one, and then we will call it a day on this stream. Thank you very much for supporting the channel, everybody. It is very much appreciated, and I will be back shortly. Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting, so please stay tuned. Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting, so please stay tuned. Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting, so please stay tuned. Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting, so please stay tuned. Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting, so please stay tuned. Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting, so please stay tuned. Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting, so please stay tuned. Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting, so please stay tuned. Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Twitch channel. My name is Paul Newman. Thank you very much for dropping by, and I can assure you now that the live stream will soon be starting, so please stay tuned. Hello, everybody, hello, everybody, and welcome back to what will be the final session of this live stream. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a quick look at the 4 races really that me and Steve covered in day one. They were the Supreme Novices Hurdle, the Arkle, the Champion Hurdle, and the Mares Hurdle. We're just going to have a quick look and see how the markets are shaping up in Betfair. We've got another whole night to go yet, anything could go wrong, anything could go right, really. But it's always handy, I think, to keep an eye on the markets, really. It does really, to me, it reduces the stake, really. I will always have an interest in the horses I suggest, but if they're not shortening in the market to any certain extent, or at least if they're drifting, it puts me off, and I do put less on, to be honest. I think that's sensible. But there always is the chance that I am right and they are wrong, which you always have to factor in to your thinking. I do try and do that quite a lot. So we're going to take a look at the first race of the day. I think there's plenty of money going on it now. Look, if you look at the top right, nearly £300,000 has been matched on the race. Facile Vega is still a pretty strong 3.7 favourite. There's a couple now under 7-1. Ileti Tomp is 5.9 and Marine Nationale is 6.2. In the pocket is 14.5. 13.5 Tamuras. I think that was a bit shorter yesterday, I'm not sure. High Definition has just gone to 19. My selection Chasing Fire, 32. Not exactly ideal, really, but there's some that are a lot bigger than that. But it's looking like the market has Chasing Fire as one of the supporting cast members rather than one of the leading participants. It'll be interesting to see who is right. We move on to the Arkle now. A considerable drop off. You saw over nearly 300,000 on the first race. There is less than 100,000 on the Arkle, £90,177 at this point. El Fabiolo and John Bon. Still, I'll say El Fabiolo was the favourite yesterday. The last time we looked, he's the favourite still at 2.48. John Bon 2.78. Dysart Dynamo is 8.6. St. Roy 13.5, and it really is any price. The rest of them really, which I think is fair enough. The next race, the Champion Hurdle at 3:30, Constitution Hill. There's a bit better now, nearly £240,000 matched on the Cheltenham Hurdle. Constitution Hill, the Champion Hurdle, Constitution Hill. Very strong, 1.37 favourite. 35,000 available at that price. State Man is 5.6. And there is nothing smaller than 23. Like I said, Vauban the third favourite, 24. And I like to move it at 36. And the last three, well, it's any price then really. And again, I think that's fair enough. And the last race we're going to take a look at quickly is the Mares Hurdle. That goes off at 4:10. Interesting that the Arkle has got the lowest amount on it. People just can't really tell. £123,000 matched on the Mares Hurdle. The favourite at the moment is Marie's Rock at 3.6. Honeysuckle 4.6. Brandy Love 7.6. Epatante 8.6. So hopefully she will shorten tomorrow and I'll have a nice interest in her. Love Envoy, Steve's Allpress, is each way selection is at 11.5 on Betfair. So when he said you could get a fair price each way, he was certainly telling the truth there. Echoes in Rain, 14.5. Queensbrook, who like Steve said did beat Brandy Love last time out, 25s. And then you've got Theatre Glory and She Wears It Well completing the field, 48 and 32 respectively. One thing is for certain, it will look to be a very interesting day. That's for certain. I hope to be back to stream some content all over again in the morning, in the lead up to the opening day's racing, hopefully with a bit more content from myself this time. Maybe I'll pre-record a couple of selection segments to enable people to have a look at the horses I fancy more. I'll play out Steve's selections again as well, and we'll have a final look at the market. I don't like to commit to times, but obviously with the first race being at 1:30, our content will need to be finished around the midday mark, and we've got at least an hour, comfortably an hour, I would say. Steve himself does 40 minutes on the first day. So try and find us again sometime tomorrow, and we should be about. Don't forget the Reprieve Media CIC website. If you want to take a look at it, it can be found at reprievemediacic.epz.com. And for now, I've been the Director and Secretary of the organisation, Reprieve Media CIC, Paul Newman. Can I just take a time again to say massive thanks to my colleague Steve Allpress for finding the time to compile his Day 1 preview, and also a massive thanks to the guys up in the northeast, David Bygate, Pittiglio and Russell Stamp, for making their time available over the weekend for our military veterans and CIC ahead of the Patfield Shield on Good Friday. Right, I'll leave it there then, everybody. My mouth's getting a bit dry. Thank you very much, everybody, and thank you very much for supporting the channel. Take care, everybody.